that we can have some information for you guys, for you can use. This episode, we're going to try to touch base on teaching you guys how to buy land and stuff like that. A lot of people don't really know about like buying land and stuff, or they maybe don't know where to start at. Some people maybe be not financially stable. Some people maybe be stuck in the city and never around anyone, and they don't know how to get land or how to start farming off the land and stuff like that. But today you're gonna learn how to do all this stuff. All right. So let's get into it. Okay. So I'm Malcolm Banks, and I also the owner of Yellow Mountain Garden. I'm a 35-year-old farmer. I turned 35 today. I made it to 35 years old. So I've been farming now for 8 years. It's been a great journey. We started off in the back of our yard in like 2013, 14. So we just had like a 20 by 10 garden space. I forgot what I looked up. I think I looked up like how to start a job from home, and then it turned into doors. And then I started finding out about food deserts, and then I started finding out about like how it's not that many type of farmers, and a population of farmers are dropping down. So it made me want to get more into it. And I met my friend named Jim, newcomer. He had an acre of property. Well, it's still in his family property. He have an acre, but he passed away like 5 years ago. So he never got to see what I have now. You know, everything that we have now, he actually died. He died at 40 years old. But I started off using his acre of land, like growing produce for my family, growing produce for his family. So it started off like that. And we was making Christmas tree wreaths too at the same time, because my brother-in-law is a Christmas tree farmer. So we'll usually take all his Christmas tree, old Christmas trees, and we cut them up and we making them into like wreaths, and then we ship them off, and then we'll have like fundraisers, high schools, booster clubs and stuff, churches, and they'll buy all our Christmas trees from us. And that's how we started up our capital to start our farm. But we're going to get in all of that later, and I'm going to have to explain all of this because it's going to make sense to break down how to invest this money that you're going to have to use. And you really going to have to look at it as a long-term investment. I'm going to break it down and tell you how it's a long-term investment. And don't look at it as like I'm going to make money today or I'm going to make money next year. Don't look at it like that. Because the number one thing that you need when you buy land and when you start a farm is you need to have passion. If you don't have passion for it, it will not last. It will not survive. That's why I have seen a lot of people farms actually go down since I've been getting into the whole little farming stuff. I've seen a lot of people farms just go away because they didn't have passion. They just seen somebody else doing it, and they felt like they needed to get some land and they needed to start growing produce and stuff like that. And then a lot of people's farms are not very successful because they maybe don't have the labor help, because a lot of people don't do farm work nowadays. This is, 2022. Everybody want to do jobs on a computer, or you can, drive Uber, Eat. You can do so much stuff now to make money, especially young people. You can do a lot of things to make money. You can do real estate. But guess what, though, guys? Farming is the best investment out of all those things I just named. But it's a good long-term investment. So you got farming, and then you have real estate, and then you have the SP 500, and then you have like gold, silver, and diamonds. You have all that. If you look up the charts and everything, you'll see farming is basically a better investment than all of those. But you lose money throughout the years. But if you look up the 10-year gain, it's like 11.2 compared to a SP 500, compared to any type of funds that you have, or stocks or gold, silver. It has a way better return after 10 years. So that's one thing I wanted to kick off this with too, guys, to let you know when your return is coming. A lot of people don't know about that, because everybody expecting to make money because you seeing everybody making money. Like, if you seeing everybody making money, that don't mean you're going to make money right away. But some people can if you grew up in a family that already have farming connects and farming contacts and stuff like that. But majority of you are watching this podcast, a lot of you are just new farmers. So we're going to explain it on a new farmer perspective, not like a farmer that already have resources and stuff like that. So, all right, let's kick it off, guys. The first thing you want to do when you go look for property, guys, you want to make sure you know about the deed restriction. So you don't want to get a property that got like some restrictions on its deed, because why? Properties that have restrictions, that means you can't have a private well, that means you can't put a trailer there, that means you can't put a farm there, that means you can't put a tractor there, that means you can't put a semi-truck there, you can't put none of this stuff. So these are all the stuff you're going to need on the farm. So you want to always go out and look for like unrestricted property and stuff like that. And you want to get with a real estate that only specialize into farming, because that'll make it easier for you, because you can go up to them and they can just take you to all the unrestricted properties. So when you get with a realtor, you want to be like, hey, I want to get an unrestricted property. You don't want to get a property with an HOA. A lot of y'all are in HOAs, and that's why y'all can't grow, because it gets their restrictions, because you really don't own your land. It's like set up in the system that they can kind of vote you out and take your land away from you. So you don't want to be in those type of systems. Like, you want to get into an unrestricted type of property, and you can kind of start off like that, and you can get your own freedom. You can get unrestricted property that is vacant land. You can get unrestricted property that already have a house on it, already have a barn on it, already have fields, already have equipment. Some people sell it like that, ready to go. So I feel like on unrestricted property, it just all depends on where you at. Let's just say North Carolina, Western North Carolina, where I'm at. Unrestricted property gonna go between 15,000 to 25,000 an acre. Some places unrestricted property is not like that. You maybe can get it for $6,000 and stuff like that. But it's best to be knowing what's your budget when you're going into it, because you got to think about it. All right, I'm gonna buy this property. I get 20 acres of land, and it costs $135,000. But do I got money to? Do I have a tractor? Do I have growing cells? Do I have a greenhouse? Like, you got to think about all these things, because a greenhouse can cost you between, like, a good greenhouse going to be like $30,000. Like one that's going to be sustainable, last for a long time, like ship till you get somebody to build it. The best thing you should do, you got to think about, you got to get concrete poured. Some people don't get concrete poured. Some people just put rocks down, but you got to think about all of this stuff. You got to have a well drilled. If it don't have water on it, you got to drill a private well. And that's the difference between unrestricted and restricted too, as well, that you can have a well on your property and stuff like that. But it's weird though. Some areas are in HOA and they have a private well on their property too as well. It just all depends on where you live at. Like I say, you got to find a community that works best for you. But you definitely want that well. And you also want to be by running water. Running water is like some of the best resource you can have, just in case like you got a drought come through. You can be able to pump some of that water out of the creek if you don't have a well set up. But let's get back to the well. We're not going to jump. Let me tell you what the prices of the well could be. It all depends on how far deep they got to dig, But if you're not in like a real rocky area, I think you would spend between $6,000 to $10,000. Sometimes if you like in a real rocky area that they have to dig so far down to get the water and stuff like that, you gonna end up paying like $20,000, $15,000. It just all depends on, guys. And let me start off this video. I'm not your financial advisor. This is just my lifestyle of what I did and how much I have spent and how I have seen everything throughout the years, okay? And the reason why it's good to get this unrestricted property too, some areas that come with mineral rights. So mineral rights are very important, guys, because why? You might have gold on that property. You might have oil on that property. You might have rubies on that property. You got water on that property. You got so much stuff on that property that you can like have for the rest of your life, or the next generation can have for the rest of their life and stuff like that. So that's the best thing of owning land, guys. Like, it holds value. So that's why I make the content buy land, not shoes. Because why? Shoes can decompose in 100 years or 200 years. Let's just be honest. Like, a lot of these shoes won't be around. They'll probably be burnt or probably thrown somewhere in the ditch or somewhere like that. It don't hold no value. It's also bad for the earth to make shoes, period. So like, it's best to buy land and sit on it because it holds way more value. You can be able to pass it on. But some people say, hey, Malcolm, I can pass my shoes along to my kids. But how much maintenance that you got to keep up to keep those little bitty shoes that might just stay valued at the same price that it was actually like manufactured? Like, as you can look at land, guys, like, land is it's increased in the last 2 years, but farming have decreased and land have value have decreased too. But it's starting to increase because in the pandemic, you had all these billionaires. They came in the industry and they start buying up all this farmland, and then it increased the value of farmland. And the reason why they buying this farmland, guys, because we are increasing in the world population. So we got to figure out how we can end up feeding all these people. But I feel like a lot of the land that billionaires are buying is also like lease land. They lease it out to other farmers because they get into that business because it can be like a tax write-off to that billionaire, so they can be considered as a farmer because they got somebody else farming their property. So that billionaire get to write off all that deductible and stuff like that. So that's why a lot of billionaires start buying land, because they knew that, hey, I can lease this property and it's up under agriculture, and I can write it off on my taxes, and I won't have to pay so much taxes and stuff like that. So like, that's one thing that's good about like cattle farming too as well. So guys, you need to write down where you want to start at. You need to look in your area too as well. And be like, okay, I want to get some land here, but I feel like you should not go more than 10 acres, guys, because just 2 acres is a lot, man. That's like 80,000 some square feet of land. That's a lot of land to keep up. You got to think about it. That's going to take a lot of time to mowing. That's going to take a lot of time to weeding and garden. That's going to take a lot. If you don't have the infrastructure set up, you're going to have to build a fence. You're going to end up spending like $8,000 building the fence around it. Just depends on what type of fence you're building. You're going to spend that much money just to cover up that whole space, because T-posts cost a lot. You got T-posts like up to like $6, and some of them like $5.45. So every 1 acre, every 2 acres, I think about 2 acres, you're going to use 160 poles, on 2 acres of land. So that's a lot of poles that you got to buy. And that's not including the clamps, that's not including the barbed wire, and that's not even including the electric that you're gonna hook up to it to give it power to keep the animals from escaping. Electric box will probably cost like, it's just a good one gonna cost you $300 to $500. So you'll end up paying $500 for that. And then you got to think about all of that. So I want to put out what you're gonna be spending before you jump into this, guy, because I think that's how a lot of people never put it out, to let people know, like, hey, this is how much money you're going to really be spending on your farm before you make profit. So this is why I'm telling y'all right now how much money you will be spending per acre and stuff like that. Maybe later on in the podcast season, I can break down what you can make per acre. Well, we will. How about we just get on to that now? Like, as far as like cattle, guys, I feel like that's the best thing to farm as far as tax purpose and weather purpose. It just depends on where you live at. Like Oklahoma and Texas, they went through a lot because they had like a drought this year. So, hay went up, hay prices went up. They didn't have no grass. But hey, you got other places. That's why it goes back to what I was saying. When you get property, you need to make sure you got creeks and rivers, so you can pump that water out of the creek and the river. You can pump that water out of the creek and river. You can feed your animals. You can feed your plants and stuff when it's a drought coming up and stuff. So that's one reason you want to buy property that have water. You want to, because you can turn a sprinkler on for the cows the grass can grow. You can reseed it. But let me get into it, guys. You're gonna make 17.5 an acre for goat. So if you got goats, you can make up to 17.5 an acre. So if you want to, you can put like 20 goats on an acre. If you want to, you can pack them in. But you know, some people don't do that. A lot of people don't do that. Only if they only really commercial growers really do it. You know, the average grower gonna probably put like 5 of them on an acre. But you really, if I really can start over all the way back from 2014, I'd probably say, man, you should have did. Well, we was doing Christmas trees. We just ran out of Christmas trees. That was the best farming that we did. And then once the Christmas trees is over, it's going to be like 7 years until we can harvest a Christmas tree. Because it takes a Christmas tree to grow a foot a year. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, it's like if we went and started off with the goat, life probably will be a little easier for me. You know, I probably have more to invest in my farm because I would probably make more income with having less work put in. You know, like I say, the most expensive be the fencing and stuff, but the reason why you'll make money off of sheep so fast is because like the turnaround is fast. Like you get to harvest the sheep in 3 months. You get to harvest it in 3 months. So when you eat sheep, you eat like lamb and stuff like that. That's all you eating. You eat lamb. And when you eat these little lambs, they just babies. They weighing at 35 pounds to 50 pounds. And it can go between $16 to $20 a pound. It can be like $10 a pound. It just depends on if you buy a whole, it'll probably be about $12, $10. But if you buy just some different parts, if you just want the lamb chops or you want the ribs, you want all that, that's going to be like $16.50 a pound. You know, and what that's better than beef, because beef ain't that. The highest thing on beef is maybe $8.50, $10 a pound or something like that. So it's like all profit because like you really making money because you really only spending like $2 per pound. That's what you spending. Like if you had 20 goats out there, multiply two times 20, you know what I'm saying? And so you spending that per pound. Well, don't multiply that times 20. I mean, you multiply that by the weight of what they weigh, but it's just, you don't know what they weigh. So you figure out what they weigh. Say if they weigh 50 pounds, you multiply that by 2, right? So that's 100. So you don't put $100 probably in each animal, okay? And you're gonna profit $500 off of it, you know, in a faster pace in 3 months. Okay, so we're going to go to the cows. You know, the cows is a little different. So you got something what you call a heifer. You have something what you call like a steer. And you have the heifers are for breeding. And the steers are for meat, what you eat on a daily basis. And you have, but the only difference between the steer and the bull is like the bull just have his balls, and it can also produce babies and stuff like that. That's the only difference. So the steer, you cut them off so they won't be as crazy and stuff like that, you know. But a bull, you keep at least one bull to breed with your heifers. So your heifers is really the most valuable thing. You want to keep all the heifers because you want to keep breeding more babies. So you need all the girls. So you basically gonna kill all the on your homestead or your ranch, all your boys gonna die. You want to keep all the girls because they produce, you know, they keep making babies. They gonna either give you meat or they either gonna give you another breeder. So that's the whole beauty of knowing this farming stuff like that. And that's what I feel like is a better profit per acre wise, to get your money back at a faster return and stuff like that. But I'm gonna get into USDA loans and stuff like that, okay? Or I'm gonna get into grants too. So let's get on over here to grants and loans. So a lot of y'all gonna ask me like, hey, how can I get like a USDA loan and stuff like that? Well, you need to make sure that you got a Schedule F tax form going. If you don't have a Schedule F tax form showing that you is an operating farm, like the USDA won't give you grants or they won't even give you a loan because you got to show that you actually is an operating farm. Like you got to show that you made over $1,000 and stuff like that. So you just can't pop up and just write the USDA and be like, oh man, I'm about to get this grant, I'm about to get this loan. Like it's not gonna work like that. You got to actually reach out and put in the work for 3 years, and then you want to go apply. They got some stuff that you can apply for like new farmers and stuff, but guess what? They still gonna want the Schedule F form. They still gonna want to see, are you making money? And your farm can be counted as your house. A lot of people don't even know that. If you got microgreens growing in the bottom of your house, that's a farm. You know, like whatever you doing, it just depends on where you live at. Like I said, you kind of want to live in unincorporated areas. You kind of want to live in unrestricted areas and stuff like that, because like a lot of these rules don't apply to you. You can kind of have your business set up to come from the house, or you can have your business just operating just from your house. Everybody can come to your house. You got your farm in the back. You got your sheep in the back. And that's how you really want your farm to be set up. Like me, my farm is not on my house. I have to drive 8 miles to my farm. You know, it's not far, but if you are going to have a farm, at least get it like 2 miles away from you and stuff, or have it that you can walk out in your backyard, because why? It's easy to keep up with. It's easy to maintain. How you going to keep up with a farm if you far away from it? You know, you can, but it's going to take a lot of work. Like I say, I got to jump up, I got to drive, I got to go do this, I got to do so much stuff. But if you live on your farm, you can just walk out, you know, and take care of that vegetable. Oh man, it didn't rain, so let me go out here and turn on the water system. Boom. But you get all the way back home, and then you like, okay, it's about to rain. Let me go ahead and take it in. Boom, you go all the way back home. And then when you get home, dang, it didn't even rain. And then guess what? Those plants probably gonna die that you transplanted or something like that, you know. Or another situation, you might have like an animal breakout or something like that. And let me tell you this: if somebody run your cow over and they die, you can go to prison for the rest of your life. So like that's one thing too. You should have your farm close to you. Why? Because your animals always gonna break out. You're gonna have to go get the animals when they break out, and you got to be somewhere close by them for you can get the animals and contain them and stuff. So make sure that your farm is not that far away from you, or make sure that you can walk out to your farm. You know, like somebody can call you, hey Malcolm. Like my neighbor called me all the time, Chuck Talley. Hey Malcolm, the steer, one of your steers broke out, and I'd be like, dang, I gotta jump up, drive all the way over there, or I have to leave my son's soccer practice or something like that to go get a steer and put it back in, because you're gonna have problems with young steers that's like 5 months, 4 months. You're gonna have a problem with them. But once you start getting like your steers trained, or you get your mama cow, you need a good mama cow, because your mama cow gonna always make sure the cows are doing what they need to be doing. Now goats, on the other hand, they gonna be hard-headed. You know, they gonna do whatever they want to do. You know, if you know how to train a goat, show me how to train. I got only one goat that is real good. It's a female goat. So that just shows you that female are better. I'm gonna be quiet. But okay, let's get back on it, guys. So let's get back on land. So if I had to choose today to buy land, I would buy land only in the southern region. Why would I buy land, Malcolm, in the southern region? I would buy land in the southern region because if you go to school for real estate, they will literally teach you this, that in the original 13 colonies, like the real estate is different. Even the land structure, the land map is different than like the West Coast or the northern areas and stuff like that. Why? Because the land out west and the land up north is ran by a corporation, and they over their mineral rights, they over their water rights in a lot of areas. But once you get in like the southern areas, not a lot of areas like that, because we are protected by the original 13 colony laws, you know. So that's like the best thing about living in the southern area, that your land is kind of protected by some old English laws and stuff like that. So the government just can't roll up and do certain things. So that's the best thing about buying land down south. And one reason why I think you should buy land down south is because we got beautiful weather, man. We got green trees. We got running rivers and creeks. We don't have man controlling all our rivers and controlling all our creeks. Some areas do, but it's not as big and incorporated in control, like California or Denver or something like that. All of those people, water resources are being controlled because they are shipped down into like barrels and stuff like that. And then a lot of people, oh, I'm in a drought. Like they do that on purpose because like they're a corporation, they can control the water, they have it patented. Just like they clouds over there, they have the clouds patent. They got all this stuff patent, guys. So it's time to really wake up and see these things and know about your land that you're living on. Because see, the earth is our turf, guys. Like we should be able to have no borders. We should be able to walk anywhere where we should want to go. I should be able to get in the plane and fly everywhere I go. But they have governed us to be like, this ain't your land. You got to have a passport. You got to have a driving license. You got to have all this. Like none of that don't really matter if you buy your own land. I'm being honest, because why? You can do everything at home. You can do everything at home because why? You got the meat at home. You got the food. I'm saying you got the vegetables at home. You got your things that people do to really go spend money on weekly. If you want to make your own juice, you can make your own juice. Grow some grapes. You can make your own juice. You know, if you want to make your own strawberry jam, you can make your own strawberry jam. You can do all this. You grow your own bell peppers, cut your own bell peppers up, and then you can freeze them, and then you can survive off the freezer. Then you can raise a cow. One cow should make a family. Survive for a family of 6 for like a whole year. So you'll end up just doing everything at home. So all you would need is just good music and whatever other little bitty stuff that you really like. But you won't need nothing that's out there in this world because like you'll have everything convenient for you. So that's the beauty of owning land. You want to make everything convenient for you, that you won't be out here spending money, giving your money to the corporation, business that don't even care about you. So reinvest into yourself. When you reinvest into yourself, you not losing at all. All you doing is increasing your family wealth for the rest of their life. And one reason why land is very important to you guys, it even goes back to like the queen, the royal family. See, the royal family is rich and successful because they own land massive. Yeah, they have taken some, but they have bought actually a lot of land. China have bought a lot of land. So that gives them the power, you know what I'm saying, owning something forever. It's just like the royal family. They bought a lot of land, right? Long time ago. And then now in 2022, all this land that they bought, it worth way more. It's like all of some parts of Manhattan and some parts are all downtown. All of downtown London is leased, I think. So like all the money have to go to the royal family because it's their property. They bought it. So you have to look at that, guys. When you buy this land that is unrestricted, you can put anything on it. You can put RVs, you can put shopping malls, you can put paintball fields, you can put a race car track. Only if your county approves some of these things. You can put dirt bike tracks. You can do all of this stuff on unrestricted property. So your family can keep this and own a dirt bike track forever. You ain't got to farm it. Okay, say if you don't want to farm your land and you want to just put a dirt bike track on there. A guy come to you and be like, hey, I want to rent this land out and put a dirt bike track on it. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? The mall, it goes on to the same places where you go at today. When y'all go to a shopping plaza today, you will see a sign that says lease. And the reason why it's saying lease, because some investors bought that whole plaza and they'll lease it out to y'all. And they never gonna sell that plaza. Like some people don't. They'll keep it forever. You know, that's the value of land. So you don't have to just farm it too, guys. You know what I'm saying? Or you can just do everything. Hey, you can have a farm on it, drive up. You got a mall on it, drive up. You got a movie theater on it. So you can do all that if you own hundreds of acres or thousands of acres of land. You just got to think about it, guys. A football stadium is only on 2 acres of land. You know what I'm saying? So some of y'all can build your own football stadium. Some of y'all can build your own baseball field and make money off of it, you know? But we all stuck onto the corporation, how to control your whole narrative of trying to make you not try to do these things because in your mind, you feel like it's hard. It ain't hard. You just never tried. You never put yourself out there. And a lot of y'all cannot be scared to try. That's one thing that's stopping people from getting land, because they don't want to try. A lot of people don't want to go forward and fail and fail and fail. Like, I have failed so many times on property and stuff like that. I have failed so many times on projects and stuff, but I have to keep going, keep building, for I can have this for my next generation, for they can work on it for the next generation. Because if I give up now, nobody ain't gonna have nothing. It's not even for just my generation, for the next group of young human beings that's coming up, so they can have some good food, some good organic stuff, you know. So I want to be the guy responsible for that. So I have to wake up each and every day and play a very responsible role and stuff. So it's very important owning all of your land, guys, and have everything there. All I just want people to do is buy land. Like I say, you don't have to like farm it. Like, just buy it, sit on it. You know, if you got a cousin that farm or something like that, or got a business plan, let them use it. Hey, if you got land and it's near me, let me use it. Lease it out to me. You know, so it's a lot that you can do with it, guys. I want y'all to think about all these things. You can let truckers come park on your land. You can have it set up that they can come park their trailer, and then they can just go out and leave and go get something to eat or something. You can do so much with land, guys. You can use it, the lease to hunt. Some people might want to go hunt bear, and they pay to hunt bears just one time, and they end up paying like $1,200 just to hunt bear for that one day. And then you got 10 people coming out to hunt bears or hunt deers, whatever. Within 10 weeks, you done made $10,000 plus. You know, just for not, you ain't even going on the land. All you doing for certain stuff, putting corn out there. And then for the bear, you just putting peanuts out there. On the bear, you just gonna spend $300 just on your bear lot for hunting. You'll just spend $300 and you're gonna make $10,000. I know you probably like, Malcolm, why you're not doing it. I'm not doing none of these things, some of these things, because like I got my time occupied in certain things. So it like take focus off of what I'm really trying to do. I know my mission is to get you growing, and my mission is to get you to buy land. That's it. So I'm gonna do what I'm doing best, is raising these animals, growing the produce. That's what I'm gonna stick with, and then other stuff will fall in my hands. All this stuff that I'm telling y'all about is really a long term. So like I say, when you buy land, it's a long term. It's not now. It's for the future. So don't think about now. Like, and one thing, when you buy land, if you buy land with somebody, you want to make sure that they understand. Because if you buy land with someone and you about to spend a lot of money, your marriage can end, or your relationship can end too as well, because you have to understand each other, that it might be a time that you don't make money for like 2 or 3 years, you know? So you got to be able to understand, because a lot of people get divorced over money. You know, if this person ain't making this, or this person ain't doing this. So you got to have that mentality of knowing like, hey, I'm going into this, I'm going to be in the debt, but I'm going to make the best out of it for my family. And you want to make sure your family is getting fed off of this, you know, and that's the return. That's the beauty of it, you know, because a lot of people in it for the money. And I'm gonna let you know now, don't go start a farm just to get in it for the money. You know, you have to love it. Like I say, have that passion and stuff like that, man. And if you don't have none of that, it's not gonna add up. It's not gonna work for you at all, because you gotta know patience, because outdoors teach you patience. You can't beat nature. Those trees gonna be there forever. Those dirt roads gonna be there forever. You can't beat it. You know, the only thing that can beat it is itself. Nature gonna destroy itself. I know a lot of humans destroy it with nuclear weapons and stuff, but look how much they have done, and they haven't really just like fully destroyed it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm basically trying to say. So you can't beat it at all. And I feel like that is the beauty of it, because it will show you that you really are an angry person, and it really will show you that you're too physical, because you've been beat up in this society to think a certain way and stuff. So a lot of y'all need to go out and really like enjoy nature, because a lot of y'all need to get beat up. You know, you need to get them hands beat up. You need to get those knees beat up. You need to let that mind wander away and think, because we all connected. You see, we got these plants around in the house because I want to be connected to plants full time. I want my eyes, I want my kids to have it full time. You don't want to be disconnected from the earth, guys. So that's one reason you should be buying land too, because you want to be connected to this earth. Like, God gave us land for a reason, so take advantage of it. God didn't just put a massive land out there to have grass on it. I'm just being honest with you. God laid that land out there for us to have as much as food and be more sustainable that we can. Even from the hardwood on your property, you can cut it down and sell it, or you can build you a house out of it, you know? So God gave us everything, but we don't even take advantage of it. God gave us water to build a well. We got free water up under the ground, but we don't take advantage of it. What we rather do is move into HOA and let them do it. And we'd be part of the matrix slave system, the corporation slave system. Are y'all ready to come off the plantation? I want y'all to come off the plantation. Leave the plantation, get unrestricted property, and you'll become free. Mark my word. And I hope y'all enjoyed this first podcast. It was really good. Let me get over here. Let me see, can I answer some questions? I probably got some people writing me over here. Let me see real quick. I hope y'all enjoyed everything, but we're going to be doing more videos, more content. I'm actually probably going to be giving away some money too, guys, for probably be giving away some money for some content. Whoever make like the best video, the Cowboy Baby, I'll probably give away $500. You know, so that's what I'm thinking about doing too. So y'all check that out. But y'all make sure y'all go check out the book too as well. Check out that book. Check out all that stuff, man. The book. What else I got? YellowMountainGarden.com, Buy Land. All of this stuff coming soon. I appreciate YouTube for supporting me too as well. I appreciate Green Thumb Gang for supporting me. Shout out to that boy Goo for letting me come in the group and be an inspiration to these people too as well. I appreciate all the Green Thumb Gang people too as well. Man, y'all just been so much love and support and stuff, but I can't wait to the next podcast. The next podcast is going to be great. We'll probably cover what we're going to cover the next podcast. I'll probably talk about how to start a garden. So this podcast, we was talking about buying land. So now you know how to buy land. Now you know about unrestricted property and stuff like that. Now you know the difference between an HOA. Like, you know all these things now. So now you won't get tricked into buying something that you don't need, because you don't want to get a piece of property that don't matter. It don't mean nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can buy the wrong land. You have to look out too, guys, because one thing is that you have to look out because a lot of people use some property for like landfills and stuff like that. That's one thing. A lot of people use some property for like landfills, and you don't want to buy no property that have like a landfill, like a bad landfill area. They got like a bunch of waste and stuff like that. So you don't want to do that. But I hope this information helped y'all guys out, man. Hope this was